Hello. Before I get fishing and get things underway tonight, the one thing I wanted to do, and that's I wanted to thank everybody that's viewed, subscribed, liked and commented on my videos. I'm most overwhelmed by some of the comments that I've had. It's been very encouraging and very flattering. The reason why I make the videos is because I like to put something back into a sport that's given me so much over a lifetime. I certainly don't make them to get rich, because I'm not going to do that very quickly, I don't think. But I like to put something back into it, and also I hope that especially the youngsters that are coming into the sport actually do learn something, certainly beyond just carp fishing and boilies, because there is so much more to fishing than just that. It's not their fault, it's unfortunately the last sort of 20 years people that have come into angling, that's the way angling has gone, and that's all they've really known. Not everybody will agree with me, but I think it was Ian Chilcott that said he'd make everybody do an apprenticeship fishing for roach for 5 years, and I'd probably agree with him on that one. But once again, I thank you all for your support. It's been absolutely wonderful. Well, hello again. It's Friday the 21st of April. It's about 3:20 in the afternoon. I've come back to the reservoir hoping for some tench or some carp today. I was originally going to go down to back to the canal and have a go for the canal carp again, but unfortunately the Braunston boat show's on this weekend. I didn't realise, and virtually every stretch of canal around me is filled up with the wannabe Captain Pugwashes. So I've changed my plans and I've come over here, which would be nice anyway, because I didn't get to catch any tench the other night to show you, or any carp, and I might just get lucky here tonight. When I've turned up and I've had a good look round the reservoir, there's several people on in other places, so one or two of the swims are a bit limited, but I've come round to this particular corner here, and while I've been sitting and watching, I've seen quite a few fish, not more than about 20-30 yards out, bubbling and moving. I can't tell whether they're tench or carp at the moment in time, because it's really dull and overcast, and I can't get a high enough position to sort of see down into the water. But the bubbles are definitely coming up. I've had the binoculars on there, and I can definitely see fish moving under the water, but I can't quite make out which they are. Anyway, I'm going to get my gear set up and get a couple of rods made up and get one dropped in amongst that before I set all of my tackle up, and we'll just see what happens, see if we can get a quick fish. Yeah, there's definitely some carp as well as tench out here. I've just seen one turn under the water, no mistaking it. So I've just got some rods out on singles. I've overcast and just eased them back, not to spook anything. I haven't put any other bait in at the moment. And I've got the rods out first, landing net and hooking mat, everything's all set up just in case I do get a fish. And then what I'll do, it's very shallow down this end, and I should imagine the water's warmed up quite quickly, to be honest. I just want to test this one at the edge, see what it looks like. Right.
It's not very deep out there at all. It's amazing just how close in fish will come. I'll get a proper depth on it after I've set up. But I'll show you a little way of finding the depth shortly without having to bang a big marker float about and make a load of disturbance. I don't know whether you can see the bubbles on camera particularly well, but I have actually got some fish right over the right hand rod at the moment. Come on, just waiting for that pickup, that's all we want. Yes, and we're in. I don't know what we're into, but we're into something. As I said, there was loads of tench or milling about here earlier on. This doesn't feel like a tench to me though, it feels more like a bream. I'm really surprised if there's a bream down here at the moment. Would have thought it would have been a bit shallow for them, but it could well be. I thought it was the swan first of all. It was just crossing the lines, but clearly it wasn't. Come on. Yeah, it's a bream. Well, I never. In this depth of water. Wouldn't have thought it. Still, it's the first fish of the night, so, and one actually in daylight for a change, so that's quite nice. It's not a bad size either. That was on the sweet corn. Go on then. In you come. There we go. Yes, a result. Well, here we go, first fish of the evening. Let's just get that hook out one moment. There we go. Get that out of the way. Well, that's a real surprise. I wouldn't have expected to have found bream down in this depth of water, but it just goes to show you. Anyway, I'm going to go and get that slip back. I'm having a slight change of tactics today to what I normally do, because I'm mainly after tench. I've gone for 3 different approaches that I found have worked quite well in the past. The first one is I'm fishing a braided hook link, size 12 hook, and I've got 2 grains of corn popped up on there. The reason why I'm popping my baits up is because I know already that there's a little bit of weed out in front of me, and I just want to make sure they're sitting up above those. The second one is same thing, braided hook link, and I'm fishing some buoyant maggots on that, same on a size 12 hook. And the last one that you'll see on the camera is probably something not many of you will have come across before, and these are called maple peas, and they are a particle bait which you soak and boil until they become soft. Most species absolutely love these, whether it's bream, tench or roach or carp. I've caught all of those on these. They're an absolutely fantastic bait, but as I said, like with all seed baits, you have to prepare those, and that's what's in this little jar here. I prepped these up yesterday, and what I added to these, because they're sitting in the juice at the moment from where I cooked them, keep them moist, but what I added to these was also a bit of active maple 8 glug just to the water, just to enhance the flavour a bit. With the buoyant maggots, I've added some liquid betaine flavouring, which is a nice sweet flavouring, and I've done the same with the sweet corn, but I've added Scopex in this case just to ring the changes on the flavours. And they're the three approaches I'm going to take. I mixed up some ground bait when I got here, which is in here, and that's got about a pint of hemp in it, which is more enough for tonight's session. And I'm going to be fishing all 3 rods on method feeders tonight, so that I can put in as much feed or as little feed as I want by the regularity of casting, and if I think I'm not getting enough feed out there, then I can always make up a couple of balls of ground bait and I can catapult those out into the swim. But method feeders are very good, because you tend to find that as the frequency of the casting, the action tends to build as more bait gets into the swim once fish find it. But if you find you're not getting any bites, just don't cast as often, and then you're not putting too much in. You know, the old adage of you can put more in but you can't take out what you've put in is very, very true. Always try to go for the little and often principle wherever possible. Anyway, that's my approach for tonight. Oh, just one thing to say while we're on the subject of sweet corn. As you see, mine's actually in a tin here. Whatever you do, when you've emptied the contents of that tin, which I'm going to into there shortly, make sure you take that tin home with you. If you can carry full tins, full bags of stuff with you, whether it's ground bait or 12 cans of lager when they're full to your swim, I don't see any reason why people can't put them in a rubbish bag in the boot of the car and take them home with them instead of leaving them there. There's nothing worse than you arrive at a peg and people have littered it. It really is nice coming to places like this. Wonderful scenery, plenty of wildlife, and the fish I seek are in here. They're just proving a little bit elusive at the moment. That's all part of the challenge, all part of the fun of it, really. Oh yeah, like that is it. Swans and bream. I can't get away from them, can I? Don't you dare go tangling my lines up.
And we're off again. Oh, that's better. Actually feel something on the end this time. Probably a bream again by the feel of it. Another one on the sweet corn. Oh, this water is absolutely gin clear. I just can't seem to get away from these bream. I reckon the tench and the carp have all fell out of me. Water is absolutely crystal clear. There's lots of swallows coming across the top of the water, as you can see, which means there must be quite a hatch going on at the moment. It's obviously why the fish are so active at this time of day. I'm using very light rods today, only a £1.5 test curve, 8-pound line straight through, perfectly balanced. Much nicer to play these fish on. There we go. Just thought I'd bring him here for you to have a look at. If you just calm down. So, another female, this one. You can tell because A, it's got no spawning tubercles over it. It's also, whereas the males tend to become completely dry and they're not slimy at all, the females this time of year are slimy. And lastly, because it's winked at me. Anyway, I'll put this one back. Well, here's a little bit of entomology. As you can see, crawling up the palm of my hand is one of the lake olives that are hatching at this particular moment in time. These swim up to the surface and they hatch in the surface film, and then they drift along on those sail-like wings for a little while, and then eventually they start skating across the surface of the water and take off. And that's what a lot of the fish are inside the bay
feeding on at this particular moment. Oh, there he goes. Okay, I said that I was going to show you a way of finding the depth without having to go to the trouble of putting a marker swim and a big heavy 3-4 ounce lead into the water and disturbing it. For those of you who don't know, on here I've got a 3/4 ounce RLC bomb, and a 3/4 ounce RLC bomb will sink at approximately a foot a second. So if I cast it out into the swim and tighten the tip up straight away when it hits the water, and then I count down, as so, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, and the tip's straightened out now. That tells me that it's approximately 6 foot deep there. So, as I said, if I chuck it out, stop it, tighten the tip, just set a bend in the tip, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, and yeah. As soon as the tip springs back and the line goes slack, when it's hit the bottom, that tells you how deep the water is, and it's much less disturbance on a little 3/4 ounce bomb like that than it is, as I said, throwing a big huge marker flow and 3 or 4 ounces of lead out into the water. It's common practice as well to lead around the swim with big leads out into the open. It's just as easy to do it with a light lead, to be honest. You can feel virtually just as much as you're dragging it across the bottom. And you don't come back with 6 ton of weed on it like you do with the bigger leads. Well, right, that's it for another session. It's just 6:10 now. I've had a number of bream, which you'll see on the camera, some roach, up to about a pound, but no tench, no carp whatsoever. The weather's really turned now. It's gone absolutely bitter. It's down to about 1 degree, and it's going to be in the minus temperatures tonight, so I'm not stopping another night. I've decided it really is raw. The other reason why I'm not stopping is where I was seeing fish all over the bay yesterday, and that they've moved out of the bay now. I had my last fish today, probably, I don't know, about 1 o'clock. I've not seen anything since then. No, nothing jumping, nothing topping, nothing moving, so I think it's time to cut and run. I reckon the weather's going to be quite atrocious this week anyway. Well, there we are, that's fishing for you. But until I see you next time, good fishing, and I hope you get some real tight lines.